School started. That's an easy topic to go with. I go to school, high school actually, and high school is an absolute mess. Everyone is going crazy apparently now, so I'm pretty freaked out. Everyone's swearing, and it's just so frustrating. School is like an absolute dumpster fire, and it's really just been getting worse since it began. School hasn't started for like a month still, and I am losing track of what work I need to do. Just today, when I was walking to the bus, my friend pointed out I had like some notes I needed to do, and I don't know how worse the rest of the school year is if it's like this. Here's a weird story. I don't think my bus driver really knows my name. He just keeps calling me Kai, and my name is not Kai. Also, my bus driver, whenever some kid leaves the bus, he's like, "Have a good day, Josh." But when I leave the bus, he's like, "Keep it together, Kai." Well, actually, he started calling me that after I tried to leave the bus and I hit every single chair with my leg, and then I stumbled down the stairs, and then I just nearly fell down. Well, my motor skills are just not very good, okay, bus driver? My legs are not made for walking. My legs are there for me to stand still and play video games. Okay, now actual stories about like school and not the bus. I have an art class, but in the art class, the teacher looks almost identical to Walter White, and that's not like offensive. I'm not trying to be offensive. He just looks just so similar. If he just grew a beard and maybe like put a bandage around his nose, he would be just Walter White. I don't really know how hard it is to be a teacher, but a lot of my teachers say they can spend hours thinking of a good lesson. But my art teacher, he just kind of gives us paper and he's like, "Okay, guys, now draw a self portrait." I just want to point out that was actually one of the assignments on the second day of class. He just handed us mirrors and told us to draw a self portrait. Excuse me? Are you expecting me to be able to draw a self portrait just because I chose to be in an art class? I am not a good artist. And this is not just one example. There are multiple times I have never seen him actually make a lesson. He just hands us paper and tells us to like draw something. He would bring out like a box of toys and he's like, "Okay, pick a toy and draw it." That's really the entire class. For like, I had this class for like at least 5 times. So another story. And for this story to make sense, you have to know something about me, which I'll probably point out in other videos as well. But I am Asian. Korean specifically, which means I am genetically made to have a bigger brain than Americans, and also to apparently like sweat less. ABCC 11? What? So, because of my absurdly large brain, I am in like honors or like accelerated classes, which means I am usually surrounded by quite intelligent people. But for social studies, I was not in honors or accelerated. I was just in normal social studies, which means I am apparently surrounded by absolute buffoons and nincompoops. Nincompoop's a funny word. It's got the word poop in it. I was supposed to be doing this worksheet with my partner, who was just the kid sitting next to me, and the question was, "This is the largest desert in Asia." There was a slideshow with all the continents on it, and it was supposed to help us with the worksheet. So I pulled up the slide for Asia, and as you can see, there is the Plateau of Tibet and the Gobi Desert. Those are the two major land masses that I can recognize in the picture. So I look at my partner and I ask him, "Okay, so which one is the desert that they labeled in the map?" And obviously there are two choices he can pick right now. One that says desert or the Plateau of Tibet. And obviously in this scenario, he picked the Plateau of Tibet. So I told him maybe it's the desert, the Gobi Desert, cause it says desert on it and it's also desert colored. Idiot. On the first day of social studies, the teacher asked, "Okay, class, how many of you can locate all seven continents?" And four kids raised their hand. So the teacher's like, okay, well, how many of you can name all seven continents?" One more kid raises their hand. Okay, so this is what we learned in like first and second grade. Like when we were learning how to add and multiply. Actually, not even multiply. We did not learn how to multiply till third grade. And barely any of the kids know where the seven continents are. The seven continents on the planet that we humans live in. So my class is just lucky to have a digit for an IQ. They are just absolutely know nothing. So, in conclusion, I guess, school is stupid, and I absolutely hate it. And it gets worse, kids. You think elementary school is bad, it gets worse. If you think middle school is bad, it gets worse. And people get hairier, especially the boys, but also the women kind of. Peace. Okay, update. My art teacher started growing hair, and my bus driver says take it easy to me after the bus. I would near it again, but I'm too lazy.